What is up, everybody? So like I said in my previous video, back about a year and a half ago, I made a video about dating apps, why people need to delete them, and a lot of people really resonated with that. So in my most recent video about dating apps, I gave the perspective of women and their experience, or at least what I assume is their experience on these dating apps, and how it negatively affects their viewpoint on men. This video is going to be just the opposite. I want to talk about things from a man's perspective and how it's negatively affecting men's viewpoints on women. So the big point I'm trying to push here, or the idea I'm trying to really help communicate, is that when we want to date and find a relationship, we have to put ourselves in the right headspace in order to receive that. And I've noticed that dating apps do the opposite of that. They kind of give you a negative perception of the opposite sex, and you kind of put this label on the opposite sex, the people that you hypothetically are trying to date, and you don't even give them a chance because you have this prejudgment about them before even getting to know them, right? A lot of women on these dating apps probably view men as, oh, all men are trash and they just want sex. And then from a guy's perspective, there's a lot of men that think, all these women on these dating apps are stuck up, they're shallow, they just, want me for my money, this and that, and it paints a negative perception of women for men. So I want to talk about an average guy's experience when going on dating apps. So what it is because there are a lot more men on dating apps than women, that means there's a lot more competition, which means the women that you're messaging on these dating apps are likely getting a lot of other messages from other men, which means it's harder and harder for you to stand out, right? You being an average man in 2023, really isn't anything notable, right? When you're competing with guys that are above average, that have, a lot going for them. And because of that, I think a lot of women kind of have this paralysis by analysis, right? They get all these different men messaging them, and it kind of creates this paralysis where they don't know which one to pick. They don't know which one to go on dates with, which one to take serious, which one to not take serious. And because of that, guys experience getting ghosted. They experience getting matched and unmatched. They experience getting, blown off or just getting ignored, things like that. And it creates a very negative perception from a guy's point of view on women, right? They then paint this picture of women being stuck up, shallow, there's no good women out there. And then next thing you know, you got guys, diving into this black pill movement or a red pill movement, and they're going down these rabbit holes to where they start hating women. And I can assure you, when you go down these rabbit holes of hating women, hating the opposite sex, and it goes both ways, you're never going to find a relationship, at least not a healthy one. You're never going to find someone to seriously date on a long-term basis because you have this prejudgment about women before you even really get to know them. And I think that's why we're seeing so many men that are, diving into this, men going their own way movement, and men are just kind of giving up on the dating scene and not really seeing it as something that's worth their time and energy. And I think that's just a dangerous place to be as a society, because I think relationships can be a great thing. I think starting families can be a great thing, and I think they contribute to society as a whole. And I think we're trending in the wrong direction. I've also noticed that as a man being on these dating apps, not only does it kind of paint a negative perception of women, but it also can just be a blow to your self-esteem and your ego, right? When you're messaging different women, or you shoot out 5 or 10 different messages to women, and only 1 or 2 of them respond, or you're talking to someone for a couple days and then they just go ghost on you or ignore you, it can be a shot to your self-esteem. And you know, when your self-esteem is down, when your confidence levels are down, it also makes it a lot harder to actually find someone to date and to attract someone to, you know, be in a relationship with. So I think that's something else to consider. You know, we have to think about how these dating apps are framing our perspective and our confidence and our self-esteem, and really evaluate whether or not it's being beneficial to us or whether or not it's kind of just being a net negative. And I think the best way to do that is to look back in hindsight and think about how long you've spent on this app. How many people have you matched with on these apps? And is it actually being successful, or are you just wasting time? And I think the majority of the time, people are just wasting time on these dating apps, which is why my piece of advice or my viewpoint is still the same, in the sense that I think people need to meet more organically. I think people need to go out and step out of their comfort zone, go out with friends, meet people through mutual friends, go out to the bars, or go out, join rec leagues, or talk to people at your apartment complex. You know, just be friendly and outgoing and try to meet people organically. And I think the relationships or the connections that will come from that will be a lot more successful, because you'll be able to get a read almost instantly on whether or not that's someone worth pursuing. And B, I just think you'll be a lot happier. I think, you know, you'll stop wasting so much time and just kind of enjoy your life more. You know, that's another thing, is there's a lot of people that are so caught up and so focused on finding someone to date and to jump into a relationship with, that they're almost sabotaging any possibility of that actually happening, right? You know, you've heard this all before, or at least I've really noticed this, that the more I try to force something to happen, the more I try to chase something, typically the further away it becomes. You know, the more you try to go after something and feel like you need it, the harder it becomes to obtain. And I think that's the same with dating and relationships. So I hope this video helps. Again, you know, get off the dating apps. Live your life, enjoy your life, and just trust that things will happen organically if you're putting yourself out there. But that's the video. I hope it helps someone. If you resonate with it, or you have any comments, questions, concerns, shoot them down in the comment section below. If you like this video and these types of topics, let me know, and please consider subscribing to the channel, because I will be making more. And I think that's all I got. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.